Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, December 11th. Well, the snow has pretty much ended across New York City, Philadelphia, D.C. It continues at this hour in eastern New England. Generally a well-behaved system with anywhere from about a coating to an inch or two in that D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City corridor. Somewhat more than that across eastern New England, some parts of Connecticut. For example, in eastern Massachusetts could certainly end up with 3 or 4 inches of snow out of this system. Remains cold behind this system for this afternoon, especially tonight. Low temperatures by tomorrow morning, near 20 degrees in many suburban spots in the I-95 corridor region. Cold for the day on Thursday, and then the next storm of note looks like it'll be a soaking rain event for much of the I-95 corridor late Friday night going into the day on Saturday. We'll kind of take a look ahead at some of the storm possibilities over the next couple of weeks during the next few minutes here. Let's take a look at the latest radar loop. And again, the snow has pretty much ended in New York City, already over with in Philadelphia and D.C. Continues at this hour in eastern New England. They could end up with 3 to 4 inches of snow. Snow showers scattered around the Great Lakes is turning out to be somewhat of a Great Lakes snow event here, with west to northwest winds producing some snow bands over the Great Lakes. But south and east of the mountains here in, let's say, southeastern Pennsylvania, D.C., New York City, don't expect anything this afternoon other than maybe an isolated snow shower. Again, there should be some sunshine returning later on in the day. Meanwhile, big storms still impacting much of the northwestern quadrant of the nation, with coastal rains and inland snows in those higher elevation locations of Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. Well, let's take a quick look at what might be coming over the next couple of weeks as we head towards the holiday time period of Christmas, of course, coming just a couple of weeks here. And first, let's look at the 850 millibar temperature anomalies averaged out over 5-day periods. This is the current 5-day period, and starting off colder than normal certainly today and tomorrow in the Mid-Atlantic region. We turn a little bit milder though late Friday, going in Friday night storm system, and Saturday as well. So relatively near normal here, close to normal here over the current 5-day period. But notice up in Canada, a lot of cold air is still bottled up in Canada, and there certainly will be some cold air outbreaks over the next couple of weeks. So let's now go ahead to days 6 to 10. And here we go. And again, this is from last night's run of the ensemble version of the GFS. Days 6 to 10, some of that colder air certainly spills down into the north, into the northeastern part of the nation. This period is roughly December 16th or December 21st here. And again, colder than normal conditions throughout much of the northern U.S. Well, let's now jump ahead even farther out into the month of December. This is Christmas week, days 11 to 15. Still colder than normal, showing up for that average of that 5-day period from December 21st to December 26th. So certainly there are some cold air outbreaks coming to the Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast U.S. over the next couple of weeks. Now let's focus in on the storm possibilities by looking at the GF model runs at the surface for the next couple of weeks. Well, here we go. Let's take a look at last night's 0Z run of the GFS, looking at the storm systems that we may have to deal with. One comes Friday night into Saturday. Looks like predominantly rain in the Mid-Atlantic region, the Northeast U.S., and it very well could turn out to be a soaking rain event. Another storm system has more cold air to work with. Looks like it'll arrive in the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast U.S. somewhere around Monday night, Tuesday of next week. Could feature some snow or sleet at the onset. Still a lot yet to be determined about that. And then another storm system is possible for Christmas week. Let's just kind of walk quickly through these surface forecast maps. First of all, the snow winding down in the Northeast U.S. Basically cold period coming for this afternoon, tonight, and Thursday. That high pressure sits right on top of us by tomorrow morning here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, low temperatures perhaps reaching the upper teens in some isolated suburbs late tonight, early tomorrow morning along the I-95 corridor region. Stormy conditions continue out in the Pacific Northwest. Key factor to storm number one, this high pressure then shifts off the coast by Friday. That allows for a warm-up along the Atlantic seaboard, and there's a lot of moisture that will build up in the southeast U.S. by Friday morning. Still cold enough for some ice at some of the higher elevations of southwestern Virginia, but by the time it reaches the mid-Atlantic region, it looks like it'll be excuse me, warm enough for rain, and basically low pressure will ride up along the eastern seaboard, but there's really not much cold air around following the departure of that high pressure system off the eastern seaboard, and this very well could turn into a soaking rain event for the big cities along the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor, even into Boston. Again, we're talking Friday night, excuse me, into the day on Saturday. Let's keep moving beyond that then. Colder air pours in behind it, and this is a key factor for storm number 2, which comes next Monday night, Tuesday time frame. How much cold air and how sustained will that cold air be? We definitely will get a cold air influx behind this soaking rain event. I'm talking about now going into Sunday and Monday. There will be some cold air in here, kind of anchored by high pressure. And now let's get into the early part of next week. This is a forecast map for Monday. A lot of moisture will be getting together across the south central U.S. Cold air mass in place, that's a key. And not exactly sure the details yet, how sustained this will be, but that second storm system next week certainly has more cold air to work with here in the mid-Atlantic region as compared with this first storm on Friday night. Here we go. Let's push forward into Monday night time frame, and notice some ice and snow breaking out in at least north of the Mason-Dixon line, but that's a possibility south of the Mason-Dixon line as well. Now, the GFS model run cuts this storm up to the north and west of the I-95 corridor region. I think that's a little too far to the north and west. I think it'll be something we'll have to watch for. The European model has a much closer storm track to the eastern seaboard. That will allow for the cold air to stick around a little bit longer. So this is certainly something we'll have to watch for again in the Monday night, Tuesday time frame. Yes, perhaps departing cold air mass, but doesn't mean there can't be snow or sleet at the onset of this system Monday night, Tuesday of next week. Then that goes on by. Another influx of cold air here across the middle of the nation pours into the mid-Atlantic region by the middle of next week. Another quite cold air mass. And let's just move forward quickly going into the following week here, because we'll see signs again. These have been rather persistent signs here. This is now Saturday, December 21st. We're looking way ahead here, but again, cold air anchored across the northern U.S. and a storm system developing down in the southeast. And by Christmas week, this may be a system we'll have to watch. Right now, the GFS is pushing that a little bit to the south and east. That certainly has a long time to change, but a stormy period coming up. This is the forecast map for Sunday, December 22nd. We're going all the way out into Christmas week. The point is, it's an energetic pattern. We have one storm system to deal with late Friday night into Saturday, predominantly, if not completely, rain event for the Mid-Atlantic region. It could be a soaking rain event. The next storm system, likely in the Monday night, Tuesday time frame of next week, will have more cold air to work with. There could certainly be some snow or sleet to deal with at the onset, and then beyond that, another storm or two arrives before the Christmas holiday on December 25th, of course. So a very energetic pattern here over the next couple of weeks. We have a little bit of a break now for the next few days, but the next storm arrives late Friday night. Again, it looks like a soaking rain event for the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic regions. That's it for now for PerspectaWeather.com. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.